Championship week. What's going on, everyone? I'm Dustin. Welcome to Fantasy Smack Talk. This will be our last waiver wire show. We don't mess with week 17, and neither should your fantasy league. If you do, you'll see why after this year, why you don't. Because there's too many teams that have clinched, too many players getting benched, saving them for the playoffs, so it's not worth it. Championship week is week 16. Before I get into the must-adds in all leagues, I know I've been talking a lot about bench management lately, but even if you love your starting lineup this week, there's no one on the wire that you would consider starting over any of your guys, that's fine. But still, you're going to want to try to pluck off any talent off the wire that the other team could play against you, especially team defenses. You know, if they don't really have a good matchup with their team defense, go ahead and pick up 2 or 3 defenses that you think are the best starts for that week just to keep the other team from playing them. And in any type of keeper league, dynasty league, if you're out of it or you got bench spots that you're not really even considering keeping, definitely go ahead and drop and pick up guys like Daryl Richardson or even Pete out there for St. Louis, knowing that Steven Jackson's probably going to be gone. And just try to fill your bench with as much talent as you can, because why not if you're not going to be keeping the guys on your bench. Let's talk about some must-adds in all leagues. Vic Ballard has looked a lot better as of late. He hasn't looked terrible really at any time this year, but he's really starting to kind of blossom a little bit as a running back. Up over 100 yards week 15. Got a nice matchup against Kansas City championship week. He's only on in about 60% of leagues. I think he's a decent flex play if you're looking for a running back. D'Angelo Williams is another guy I think that's worth considering. He's only on 60% of leagues right now. A lot of this depends on if Jonathan Stewart's able to come back, but if Stewart misses another game, I actually really like D'Angelo going up against the Raiders week 16. That's a great matchup for you, and he's looked a lot better. Danny Amendola is the next guy I think is a must-add in all leagues. He played week 15, got in the end zone, looked pretty good doing it. So they said he got through the game without further injuring himself, so he's got a nice matchup week 16 against the Bucs. Any type of PPR league, I think he's a great play, and even in standard leagues, I don't think he's a bad play week 16, so get Amendola on your team if he's available. One guy who I think is a must-add in all PPR leagues, and that's Mccluster. I talked about him last week. He had seven catches week 15, targeted 10 times. The Chiefs go up against the Colts week 16, so not a terrible matchup for Mccluster. Look for him to be heavily involved in the passing game once again. Let's talk about some must-adds in deeper leagues. Let's go ahead and talk about the mess out there with San Diego. Ryan Matthews' disappointing season ended with yet another injury, and this just leaves an absolute mess. You got Ronnie Brown, who may or may not be healthy enough to play week 16, and then you got Curtis Brinkley and Jackie Battle as the other 2 guys that you should consider picking up. Out of the 3, I really think Brinkley has the biggest upside. He came in week 15 after the Matthews injury and really played well. I don't love their matchup against the Jets, so you got to be really desperate if you're looking towards this situation for someone to start week 16. But out of all of them, I think Brinkley has the biggest upside. One wide receiver, if you need to dig really deep, I like Dwayne Harris for Dallas, only on 10% of leagues. They're going up against New Orleans week 16. I know New Orleans looked good last week against the Bucs, but their defense is still not that great. Harris has shown some flashes this year. He's definitely a talented receiver. This is really deep, though. If you're looking for a guy, I don't mind Harris. A pick-up-and-play quarterback that I don't mind is Sam Bradford. Great week 15. And they're going up against the Bucs, like I was talking about earlier with Amendola. They're going up against Tampa Bay. Nice matchup for him. Bradford had a great week 15. Amendola being back really helps him. I don't mind his chances. Say if your RG3 misses another game and you're looking for a quarterback, Bradford could be a decent pickup and play. One tight end for you, and that's Pitta. He really busted onto the scene this year. Looked like he was going to be a top 5, maybe even tight end, but then cooled off. But now he's heating back up again. Matchup against the Giants week 16. You can definitely move the ball in the Giants defense. So if you're looking for a tight end, I don't mind Pitta. 2 pick-up-and-play defenses for you. The first one's Indy at Kansas City. Kansas City's offense has been awful. Indy's decent, so I think there's enough chance there for them to score some fantasy points. And then my other pick-up-and-play defense is the Jets. They're at home against San Diego. The Chargers, lost one more weapon with Matthews. I know he hadn't done a lot with that offense, but it's still one less healthy body they have on that offense. And the Chargers offense looked terrible week 15. Look for the Jets to have some success against them. So that's it. If you got any questions, post them in our forums. I'm Dustin. Brent and I'll see you later in the week.